I may get some hate for this video, but I'm going to continue on. Let's get into it. I do want to preface this video by saying I'm making these types of videos at times because I feel there's a gap where there's unrepresented or misrepresented Christ followers that just need to have a voice or maybe words put to what they're thinking. So my prayer is that this is an encouragement to you to challenge and maybe make you see a different viewpoint in this whole thing. So I have two subjects that seem to be mashed together randomly, but I don't think they are. So let's jump into it. Is Christian media under attack? And how much voice should we give Christian celebrities within our own lives? This will make sense as we move along. Let's jump into the Bible right here. Ephesians 5. Therefore, be imitators of God as beloved children, and walk in love as Christ loved us and gave himself up for us, a fragrant offering and sacrifice to God. But sexual immorality and all impurity or covetousness must not even be named among you, as is proper among saints. Let there be no filthiness, nor foolish talk, nor crude joking, which are out of place. But instead, let there be thanksgiving. For you may be sure of this, that everyone who is sexually immoral or impure, or who is covetous, that is an idolater, has no inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and God. Let no one deceive you with empty words, for because of these things the wrath of God comes upon the sons of disobedience. With that verse in mind, I want to play a clip that's been going viral this week. Check this out.
Arriving next for the ultimate digital detox.
Oh, look at this.
You guys ready? Yep.
Our Dallas-based dads, the Hannah Riggs.
Are you guys ready to get rid of these devices?
No.
I'm Jason Hannah. My name is Joe Riggs. We have our twin boys, Ethan and Lucas, that are 10 years old.
Okay, so that's a clip that's been going viral from a new show called Back to the Frontier. But it's put on by Chip and Joanna Gaines. If you know who they are, they're the hosts of the reality TV show called Fixer Upper, which became popular about 10 years ago, blew up, and they were known for being professing Christians, okay? They took over the marketplace within this niche, and they were outspoken about their faith. They had true Christian morals, and even though I didn't really watch the show, it was great to know that there were Christian celebrities that were representing Christ the way that he was supposed to be represented. I will also say that clip makes me really sad. Seeing those two boys, and I don't want to get into this too deep, but the brokenness within that family. It's not how God intended family to be. Now, as Bible-believing Christians, we know that God's idea of marriage is one man, one woman for life. And what these two men are putting those two innocent boys through without a mom, you could just feel the dysfunction within that. It's weird because the world is trying to normalize it and make it feel like, oh, we're just introducing a new family. Like, there's the Smith family and then there's these guys. It's like, but you can feel the dysfunction. You can feel the awkwardness of the cosplay that is going on there. So did this one just slip the radar and maybe get past the Gaines as they were, they're busy, they're very successful, they're rich? Is it something that just slipped by them? Actually, it's not. There was a lot of stirring online about this subject this week. Even guys like Franklin Graham were speaking out against it. And Chip Gaines actually had something to say about this. He tweeted this: talk, ask questions, listen, maybe even learn. Too much to ask of modern American Christian culture. Judge first, understand later, or never. It's a sad Sunday when non-believers have never been confronted with hate or vitriol until they are introduced to a modern American Christian. Now, I do agree with the second half of saying that we shouldn't confront this with hate or vitriol. I absolutely understand what he's saying there, and I agree. But he's saying it from the standpoint of, this is why we're allowing this. In my opinion, it's okay. Like, I'm kind of getting that vibe from him. But it does seem like this take is the excuse that a lot of Christians and churches are making to kind of get away with murder, so to speak. Which begs the question, is modern Christianity broken? Like, if this is modern Christianity he's talking about within the American church, and I'll say that as like a North American church, even I'm in Canada, and it's prevalent everywhere. There's literally a church down the street that flies the rainbow flag. It's heartbreaking. And I'm not saying to not treat this family like humans. That's not what I'm saying at all. as a Christ follower, as a believer, I look at these guys and it breaks my heart. I love them as fellow humans. And because I love the body of believers and the humanity that God has created, I think it's important to be truthful to them. So why even make this video? Why is this a big deal? Should we just be like, another one bites the dust? Like, let's move on. The reason why this is important is because Chip and Joanna have platform. They're known within not just the Christian community, but within like TV networks. Everyone knows that these guys are Christians. Like, they've been super outspoken about it before. And then to come and take this stance, is it giving the impression that perhaps the church is willing to let a few things slide? What's next after this? I look at Revelation. Check this out. To the angel of the church in Laodicea write, these are the words of the Amen, the faithful and true witness, the ruler of God's creation. I know your deeds, that you are neither cold nor hot. I wish you were either one or the other. So because you are lukewarm, neither hot nor cold, I am about to spit you out of my mouth. It's unsettling to Christ. He would rather you be completely against him or completely for him. There's no in between. And this balancing of like, well, the world wants this and the church wants this, so let's see if we can, give and take. There's no give and take in the kingdom. There's not. There's one throne and there's one sitting on the throne that made the rules already. He is the epitome of morality, and anything else that we try to conjure up around that we think is going to make us as a Christ-believing community more moral is broken. We're broken people. We don't see what he sees. The Bible is the standard for morality, not what Chip and Joanna say. I have another clip to play of something else in a second. I just want to say this though. Be careful who you let influence you, honestly. I just kind of look at it as there's already a lot of immoral shows. Can't we just have one show? Like just one that, sticks a little bit to the course of the Bible, please? I kind of look at what these guys are doing as what Paul said to the Roman church. He said, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. I don't need to add anything else to that. It's right in front of you. Okay, before I play the next clip, there's a link in the description below with a song that I wrote. I'm a Christian music artist, by the way. It's a song I wrote called I Need You Now, and I've never released it, and I'm never going to. I'm keeping it as just like a freebie to give you, my special audience, just to encourage you, especially in times like this when there's so much wavering, and we need some unwavering faith to keep us strong and to stay on course. So if that interests you, click the link below. Let's move on. Before I play the next clip, I want to reiterate over and over again here, I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all. I like to think objectively, I really do. But we have some more Christian media drama. Should we blindly, and I mean blindly, follow Christian media personnel, YouTubers, even myself, political figures, commentators? Should we just believe everything they say and be so partisan that we don't have an opinion? It's their opinion and we just adapt it to our thinking. Like if they said they like pepperoni pizza, you like pepperoni pizza, and then if tomorrow they decided that pepperoni pizza is actually the worst, and you're like, yeah, I think so too. Nobody likes people like that, so let's not be those people. However, I do want to say I love Charlie Kirk. Been following for the last year and a half. He kind of blew up. I think he is an amazing voice within the world, not just for Christians, but in general. He's objective and he's full of truth. I really believe that he believes what he's saying. But you still need to question things sometimes, okay? And if Charlie ever sees this, I'm sure he won't, but I love you, Charlie. I very much appreciate what you're doing, especially within the school systems. And guys, if you have never seen Charlie Kirk, look him up, follow him. He's fantastic. Kind of seems antithetical to what I'm about to say, but still, follow him. Okay, quick clip. Here we go.
I'm done talking about Epstein for the time being. I'm going to trust my friends in the administration. I'm going to trust my friends in the government.
Okay, I will say this. There are smarter people in the world than me that could probably talk more into this whole Epstein thing. I'm not going to even get into the Epstein thing. I'm going to get into what it represents. Like I mentioned before, I'm Canadian. I see the American political system from the outside, which actually kind of gives me an interesting perspective. And yes, I do follow it quite closely. But like I said, there's a lot more smarter people than me on this subject. Now, why is there backlash surrounding this clip of Charlie Kirk? If you don't know about the Epstein files, Jeffrey Epstein was a prominent rich guy that was thrown into jail because he was found out to have sex underage island, and he was supposedly selling these people to rich and famous people. They would come to the island and do their thing, okay? Nobody knows that any of this is true yet. There's still speculation, but that's who this guy was. In 2019, he was found dead in his jail cell. There was a lot of people thinking that he did it to himself, and then there was speculation saying that he didn't, that someone else did it to him. So much speculation. Now, Donald Trump ran on the guise of saying he was going to expose the Epstein list, okay? And that was one of his campaign promises. And I'm not going to get into whether I like Donald Trump or not, so that doesn't matter. But what does matter is the meaning behind why this backlash is happening. So Donald was making the promise that he was going to release this list of prominent celebrities and rich people that were involved with Epstein Island. You can go back and see clips that he promised it and it was just going to happen. And then in the last week or two, they came out and said there is no list. And that's the end of it. We don't want to talk about it ever again. Let's move on. Which still upset a lot more people because everyone's making this big deal about it. And Christians were getting really uptight about this one too, I found. This is why I'm actually talking about this. If it had nothing to do with like the church as a whole and affecting it, I would ignore it. I wouldn't care. I don't want to talk too much politically on this channel, but I felt like I needed to address this. So when the Trump administration came out and said, like, we need to drop this, and Donald Trump himself said, I don't know why people are still talking about this. There's nothing there. Leave it alone. After him talking about it for like the last 4 years, promising that he was going to expose it, it puts a sour taste in people's mouths. That's why. And it's not because they want to see the list. And I'm kind of curious myself. I want to know myself, honestly. It's because of what the list represents, okay? It's promise of transparency. And the backlash against Charlie is because he's kind of letting it all go. And if you know Charlie, Charlie is one of those guys that never lets things go. Which brings me to the main point of why I'm bringing this up. We can't blindly trust Christian media people. Who knows? Was Charlie threatened? I don't know. Maybe he had to let it go legally. I don't know. But what I do know is that if we can't think objectively, we're going to be worse for the wear. And this is kind of tying back to the Chip and Joanna thing too. If you're within Christian media and you're pursuing a message that is not true and that misrepresents Christ, perhaps, or isn't completely wrapped in honesty, there's a Bible verse for you. Ephesians 4:25. Therefore, each of you must put off falsehood and speak truthfully to your neighbor, for we are all members of one body. And then Paul wrote to the Corinthian church, he said, for we are taking pains to do what is right, not only in the eyes of the Lord, but also in the eyes of man. So I say to you, stay objective. Not everything is as it appears. Keep your eyes on Jesus Christ, not on man. As much as I love Charlie Kirk and all of these guys, I'm still going to trust Jesus more. And what's our main objective? Matthew 28:19 is to go into the world and make disciples. Sure, we can fight about the small details within people's speech, unless they're openly professing that they believe garbage. Chip. But we're called to make disciples, so let's do that. I challenge you this week. Go witness to somebody. See if you can bring somebody to Christ. So I want to know your thoughts on this. I really do. Are we seeing a crumbling of Christian media, Christian music, the whole Michael Tate thing that's been going on? It's been heartbreaking. And if you think we are, what should we do about it? Should we be outspoken about it or kind of just let things fall where the chips lie? No pun intended, Chip. Also, I mentioned I was a Christian music artist, and while I was writing notes down for this, I thought of my song Everything to Me that came out last year, but I'm going to link it right here because there's a line in it that says, without you, God, I am nothing. It's talking about like the mistakes I've made and how inwardly I'm broken, but when I give it to God, He's everything I need. So it's called Everything to Me. I pray that you enjoy it. Leave a comment, subscribe. God bless.